I want to go over a few of the phone hacks that I use when I'm taking pictures or video at a wedding. These are great ways to stay organized, stay on schedule, and not to get distracted by notifications when you're the photographer or videographer. But before I jump into these hacks, don't forget to hit the like button if this video helps you, and to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. My first tip is one that I absolutely cannot shoot a wedding without, and that is making a timeline for my lock screen. Most of the time there'll be a full page timeline of the wedding day, usually made by the photographer or the wedding planner. And while that timeline is great for printing out and for sending out to the bridal party and family, I find it hard to keep up with a paper copy on a wedding day. And if you're looking at the digital version on your phone, it's usually hard to read, not to mention that it takes a few seconds to get it pulled up or to find the app that it's stored in each time you need to look at it. So creating a lock screen specific timeline for you and your second shooter or assistant solves those problems. So let me show you how I make it. Start out with a blank canvas in your editing software that's the same resolution as your phone screen. For this, I'll be using 2532 by 1170. Then color the background black. I found that black background and white text seems to be the easiest to read in a variety of lighting situations. Add a text box and then copy and paste the full timeline into it. Change the text color to white and make it an easy to read font like Arial or something similar. Resize the text if you need to, and then start editing to make it as short as possible and easy to read at a glance. We don't need AM and PM or specific details about shots. We need when and where we're supposed to be and who the pictures are supposed to be of. After you're done condensing it down, make sure you have a little buffer space at the top for the clock and some buffer space at the bottom for the flashlight and camera buttons. Then export and transfer it over to your phone. But hang on before changing it to your lock screen until the second hack. And the second hack is focus modes. Focus modes are a fairly recent addition to iOS that allow you to customize which people can contact you and which apps are allowed to send you notifications when a specific mode is enabled. It also adds home and lock screen background customization. So let's set up a custom wedding focus mode. First, go into Settings and pull up Focus, then hit the plus button to create a new mode. Now we're going to create a custom mode. We're going to give it a name, then we'll choose a color and assign it an icon. Now we're going to customize. This lets us choose which people can contact us. I usually try to keep this to only the few people that I may need to get text alerts from. After you hit next, then select if calls will be allowed. Since I don't want to miss any wedding related calls, and since I probably don't have everyone's number in my contacts, I leave calls from everybody enabled. Next, choose which apps can send you notifications. Also try to keep this to only the essentials to avoid distractions. Now it's time to customize your lock screen. This is where you can add the lock screen timeline you just created by picking it from your gallery. You may have to go to Photos and then switch over to the Albums tab, then Recents, and then it should be there at the top. Then tap on Add and go over to Customize Home Screen. I usually set this to solid color and then hit Done. Now when the wedding day starts, it's as easy as swiping down on the right to pull up your control center and then tapping on Focus and then selecting your wedding focus mode. After the wedding is over, do the same thing to disable it and return your phone back to its normal settings. My final tip is for photographers, but videographers can also use this if there's specific shots requested by the couple. And that is to create a digital shot list in your Notes app with checkboxes for each requested shot. It's most helpful to keep track of specific family group photos, but it's also great to keep track of any other specific photo requests that your couple has. After you've created the digital shot list, you can share a collaboration link with your second shooter or assistant. The Notes app is great to make sure you don't miss any shots, and it's invaluable if you're working with a team to make sure that everyone stays up to date on which shots are left. So that's all I have for my iPhone tips for wedding photography. If you have any other tips or tricks, feel free to drop them in the comments section below. I know there are Android equivalents for all these too, so even if you don't have an iPhone, you can still take advantage of these digital hacks.